From News Channel 15, you're watching News Channel 15 Tonight with Kyle Peach. This is News Channel 15 Tonight.
Hi, good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kyle Peach. Here's a look at what's going on. New details tonight in the fatal shooting in Bridgeport last Thursday. Following an investigation, Illinois State Police have announced that 28-year-old Elijah W.D. Hooker of Bridgeport is now charged with the first-degree murder of his wife, 37-year-old Omni Hooker. Police say the incident happened in the couple's home in the 700 block of Washington Street in Bridgeport. Elijah Hooker was initially charged with involuntary manslaughter and reckless discharge of a firearm, but the charge was upgraded to first-degree murder after the police investigation. Elijah Hooker remains in custody at the Lawrence County Jail. No other information has been released. Meanwhile, an arrest has been made in the murder of 47-year-old James D. Cross of Dahlgren. Cross's body was found in a parking lot in rural Belle Rive on Sunday morning as he had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Last night, 31-year-old Jasmine L. Farney of Dahlgren was arrested by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department after she was interviewed multiple times in connection with Cross's death. She's charged with first-degree murder and is being held at the Jefferson County Jail. Authorities have confirmed that Farney and the victim had a prior dating relationship. The investigation is ongoing and no additional details have been released at this time. Elsewhere tonight, the 5th District Court of Appeals in Mount Vernon has upheld the pretrial detention of 25-year-old Hunter B. Futtrell of Albion, who faces multiple felony sex abuse charges. Futtrell was charged in late August with 2 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse and a count of grooming. Prosecutors argue that releasing him before trial would endanger both the victim and the broader community, citing allegations of ongoing abuse over several years. The decision to deny his pretrial release was upheld. Futtrell remains at the White County Jail in Carmi, awaiting trial in Edwards County. A pretrial hearing in the case is set for February 6th. In White County Court, WRUL reports that on Monday, 29-year-old Lonnie Duvall of Carmi was sentenced to 2 years probation in order to serve 30 hours of community service and undergo drug treatment on charges of meth possession and illegal use of property for transporting meth. Those charges date back to last August. And 42-year-old Gregory Birchfield of Carmi was sentenced to 3 years in state prison to be followed by 6 months of supervised release. Birchfield pled guilty in December to a charge of attempting to defraud a screening test and was not at the sentencing on Monday, indicating he was ill. A status hearing for that case now set for March the 2nd. To area arrests tonight. Last Wednesday, Flora police arrested 18-year-old Lizette Rodriguez of Flora for aggravated battery. This after an incident in the 900 block of West 6th Street. Meanwhile, a Bluford woman escaped serious injury after her Jeep Cherokee overturned in rural Wayne County on Friday after losing traction in the ice and snow. WFIW says the Wayne County Sheriff's Department advises 40-year-old Amanda R. Morales refused medical treatment at the scene after her vehicle ultimately struck a ditch and overturned, coming to rest on its driver's side. High praise for City of Mount Carmel crews at Monday's City Council meeting following the recent winter storm. WSJD reports that Mayor Joe Judge thanked the city's public works crews for their work in what he called one of the most challenging snow events the city has faced in years. Judge said crews made steady progress clearing roads and emphasized how much it helped when residents kept vehicles off the streets during the storm. He also praised city staff that kept City Hall open. Street Commissioner Tyson Metter echoed the mayor's comments and also thanked public utility crews who provided equipment and trucks to help haul snow. City engineer Dave Dallas, who has worked for the city for decades, said the recent storm rivals some of the biggest snows he's seen, including those blizzards in the late 70s. He said crews did a remarkable job. Judge also praised city residents for working with those city crews to get Mount Carmel back to normal after the storm. Also at Monday's meeting, Fire Commissioner Susan Zimmerman reported Mount Carmel Fire Department has been very busy since the storm. Firefighters responding to 32 calls over the past week, primarily assisting ambulance crews. The Flora City Council met on Monday. WNOI says the council approved the Masonic Lodge Children's Auction on Saturday, May the 30th, to take place at the Clay County Fairgrounds in Charlie Brown Park. Mayor Linda Spicer also praised the work of Flora City crews in dealing with the winter storm and a recent serious water line break. She encouraged residents to make sure that crews do have a clear path to read utility meters given the snow. The council also approved an ordinance establishing a lease agreement with Flora Schools for a repeater system on the city's water tower in the industrial park. And city officials heard that Congressman Mike Bostas announced the city is the recipient of a $1.3 million road improvement grant, which will go to resurface Old Route 50 from Ed Lewis Trucking to the former Lincoln School corner and from the west Y to north of Camellia Road. The council also approved pay requests for the sanitary sewer improvement projects due to Kiefer Brothers construction. Wabash County Treasurer Angie Brewster has announced the second installment of 2025 property taxes is due on Monday, February 9th. If you've not paid the first installment, there is a 1.5% penalty fee added to that first payment amount. Contact the Treasurer's office at 262-5262 if you have questions. Payments can be made in person at the Treasurer's office or the drop box in front of the courthouse. Credit card payments can be made online at govtechtaxpro.com, and payments can also be made at First Mid-Bank, First Bank, and First National Bank in both Allendale and Mount Carmel. That is for the second installment only. Meanwhile, Wabash County Supervisor of Assessments Connie Larry recently updated the Wabash County Board on exemptions and a plan to modernize access to county property maps. WSJD reports that Larry told board members that senior exemptions and other renewal exemption forms were mailed out earlier this week, and residents should begin receiving them in the coming days. Larry also discussed efforts to place the county's aerial property maps online, saying the county currently doesn't offer public online access, which has caused confusion for residents who instead rely on outdated or inaccurate maps from third-party websites. The county board unanimously approved a motion for Larry to enter a contract that will place the county's maps online. BHA will host and manage the maps, allowing for public access to that current aerial imagery, property lines, ownership, acreage, and basic legal descriptions. The plan includes a one-time setup cost of some $5,295 to be paid from GIS funds, along with a monthly maintenance fee of $150, which Larry says is already included in her department's budget. And finally, Illinois Extension, serving Edwards, Lawrence, Richland, Wabash, and Wayne counties, marked the end of the winter deer hunting season and the local Hunters Feeding Illinois program. Over 2,600 pounds of venison were donated to food pantries to support food access within local communities. Hunters Feeding Illinois provided food pantries with ground venison from hunters who've donated their legally harvested deer. This year's partnering processors, Charlie's Deer Processing and Smokehouse in Bridgeport and Legacy Meats in Sumner, processed a total of 83 deer donations. Monetary donations covered the processing costs, and in total, 2,698 pounds of ground venison, which is an estimated 10,792 servings, were delivered to 5 food pantries within the Feeding Illinois Food Bank network in Lawrence, Richland, and Wabash counties. Extension also provided resources such as cookbooks, educational handouts, hot pads, and meat mashers to help food pantry patrons incorporate venison into their meals. For more information about the program locally, contact the Edwards County Extension Office. More to come here tonight. A look at your weather forecast is next, and then sports. Stay with us.
Are you living with chronic conditions or finding it hard to manage your health at home? If you're 18 or older, have a primary care provider through Wabash General Hospital, and live in Wabash, Edwards, White, or Lawrence County, our community paramedics can help. Get support in the comfort of your home, including follow-up care, home safety and medication education, vital sign checks, disease management support, and resource connections. Our certified paramedics will work with your doctor to provide non-emergent care to keep you healthy at home. Ask your WGH primary care provider for a referral to community paramedicine.
There's a lot of things that you can do to help and reduce your heating bills over the wintertime. Open the draperies in the house. Let the sun warm the interior of your home during the day. That helps reduce some of that heating load during the day. Consider installing programmable thermostats. You can drop the temperature down while you're not there, or in the evening times when you're asleep, make the house a little cooler, and then have those programmable thermostats bring the temperature up at the times you're actually in the home, not away.
Welcome back. Time to talk weather here tonight. We did see a little bit of a brief disturbance move through earlier today. I rewound the radar back to around 2:30 this afternoon. You can see that wintry mix kind of pushing out of the area. Did bring some light shower activity, some light freezing rain. Nothing that really amounted to a whole lot here across our area, but we did see that disturbance a little earlier. 36 our high temperature today, 26 the low this morning. Just trace amounts of precipitation with that disturbance today. Nothing that actually measured in the gauge. Still well below normal on the high side for this time of year, but the temperatures will be improving as we go throughout the week. Here goes that system out of the area. A few clouds left over behind it. It will be a mostly cloudy end to the work week, it looks like, before we start to see more sun than clouds as we move into the weekend. But we should be done with the precipitation as what was left over from that system earlier today transitions off to the east. Clouds to deal with on your Wednesday and your Thursday across the region, but no precipitation with it. A chilly night tonight, though. Cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper teens to the north of Interstate 64, really to the north of Highway 50, and the low 20s down to the south of Highway 50. Warmer for further south you go. On your Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, more clouds than sun. Mid-20s to the north up in Newton, 26, 27 in Olney, 28 in Albion, Mount Carmel and Fairfield, 29 and 30, Carmi and McLeansboro, respectively, on your Wednesday. Another chilly night tomorrow night. Lows will get down into the lower teens, 10 to 11 throughout much of the area. A little warmer around 14 down to the south of Interstate 64, but still a chilly night as we go into Thursday morning. On Thursday, the temperatures warm a little bit back to around the freezing point, low 30s across the region. Again, that mix of sun and clouds out there, probably again more clouds than sun on your Thursday. But then we get better towards the weekend, up to 44 degrees on Friday under a sunny sky. 36 on Saturday, 38 on Sunday, 38 again next Monday. The lows will be in the 20s, and then we get near 50 degrees with another chance of showers back in here next Tuesday. Long-range models say the temperatures will continue to rise into next week. That's your forecast. Sports is next.
Get your new Ford at Steve Faulkner Automotive. Lease a new 2025 Ford F-150 for $484 a month, or lease a 2025 Bronco for $493 per month on a 36-month lease. Find your new vehicle at SteveFaulknerAutomotive.com. Your best deals are at Steve Faulkner Automotive. Get a 2026 Pacifica with 1.9% financing, or lease a 2026 Wrangler for $397 a month. See store for details and go to SteveFaulknerAutomotive.com.
Teaching kids about money is an important step, and the Student Plus account from the First National Bank makes it simple. It's a free checking account designed for students who are learning to manage their own spending with tools that help parents stay connected. With spending limits, real-time alerts, and instant transfers, students can build smart money habits while parents have peace of mind. Getting started is easy. Visit the nearest branch to open a Student Plus account and choose the features that fit your family best. The Student Plus account from the First National Bank. Parents choose the controls, students learn responsibility.
Member FDIC.
Welcome back. It's time now for a brief look at sports. We look at boys high school basketball yesterday. One score, Edwards County beats Sandoval 53-36. Meanwhile, in girls basketball, Olney beats Mattoon 66-51. Edwards County beats Flora 72-29. Fairfield beats El Dorado 66-25. Hamilton County beat Carmi 53-40. Salem wins over Roxana 43-33. Effingham St. Anthony knocks off North Clay 74-38. Newton gets a win over Pana 61-37, and Red Hill beat Washington Catholic 40-5 was the final. And that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for more news. Kyle Peach from all of us at News Channel 15. Have a great night.